Shalom, Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakwadash, double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to like out there doing this work of faith, labor of love and true sincerity. All right, and I wanted to get into a lesson based upon this scripture here in the book of Ecclesiasticus. All right, it's Ecclesiasticus 3 and verse 22, but actually, I'm start at verse 20. Ecclesiasticus 3 and 20 says, "For the power of the Lord is great, and he is honored of the lowly. Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search out the things that are above thy strength." Well, my point is verse 24, but it's like, neither see the things that are above thy strength. Be not curious. Oh, Slakia, but what, verse 22, but what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence. For it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than men understand. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment. So with a lot of things, first and foremost, people get too bugged out over when you start talking about being spiritual, or people want to say there's spirituality and this and aliens, and people just rather go off of what they feel is best, because in their minds it's like, well, no matter what you say, it's all just an opinion. Well, where does truth ever come in at? All right, where does truth ever come in at if everything is just simply based upon our opinions? Where will truth ever reside at? Where? It can't. If everything is truly like that. If everything is truly like that, then there is no way possible, for truth to ever set in. All right, and that's the point is what for many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment. And judgment could be in many different ways, but in here we're talking about judgment. What we're talking about their decision making. Like they always say, don't make temporary decisions. Don't make permanent decisions or temporary feelings. Well, this is how a lot of people do things. And then they want to get to the point to try to tell you that, well, you can't tell me my truth ain't wrong. Well, what the fuck exactly is your truth? What is your truth? What makes what you got to say so true, and then I say this, then this true, then this person say that this is... No, it doesn't work like that. What's true is true, and what's opinion is opinion. And when you go off an opinion, off just opinions all the time, sooner or later you're going to be wrong. And when it comes to these scriptures, people are deadly wrong because they just judging things based upon their opinions or what they have heard other people say. They're nothing more than mockingbirds, truly. They're truly nothing more than mockingbirds when it all boils down to it. So how do you get out of that? And this is what people's problem is, because they don't want to put their own thoughts and everything that they've learned within society to the side. The scriptures say, desire is to send milk that she may be able to grow thereby. And what you got to be as a newborn babe. So if you don't want to reform or transfer, all of your old ways, your thoughts, your habits, and different things, and allow something much more positive to set within your mind, which is these scriptures, and with the correct breakdowns, then how can you ever actually grow? This is why people are stuck and stagnated with the ideals that they have in common times. All right, this is why they're so stuck, and they just don't want to get with it at all, because this is one that you always have to be at a selfless state. Selfless meaning, basically you're not worried about yourself all the time. When you can easily, when it's so hard for our people just to do that, they will rather give themselves over to destruction than to submit to the will of something that is greater than themselves. Hence, case in forth with women, for instance, right? You do all this for women, but yet they're only truly out for themselves. You know, you could have, you know, a woman that has a nice, beautiful family, couple of kids, a husband, so on and so forth. But then what? She's willing to throw all that away for a quick fling. She's willing to throw all of that away just for a quick fling. So that's not an act of being selfless. That's an act of being selfish, because she couldn't get over her own self to see that her family and that her children having a father there in the same household would be more beneficial to them. So she had to think about her immediate needs or what she wanted within that particular moment. Therefore, now her whole world is destroyed before her. So if our people is not willing to be more selfless instead of selfish, you will always be subdued by your own vain opinions, and they will always tend, or even if not always, you're going to get some things, you know, or go about some things however you want to, and things could go your way. But sooner or later, those ideals will destroy you without you hardly even knowing it. And then once you see your undoing fold right before your eyes, then it's like, well, damn, you should have thought about that a long time ago. You know, you should have thought that about a long time ago. You know, most of us brothers now, well, I can't say most, but I'll speak for myself. It's like, now what? you know, early 30s or whatever the case may be, not to talk about myself, but it's like, when you get to a certain point in life in general, and you know, brothers, you know, you've been in the truth for a couple years or whatever, it's like, yo, certain things in wisdom from the Most High should set within your mind. You know, that obviously that the world doesn't have, and we know that we can see the world on a much clearer spectrum than everybody else has. So we've made a lot of our mistakes. We're going to continue to make certain mistakes, but they shouldn't be the same type of mistakes that the average person makes. And we should be able to move on from them in a much grander scale, and to be able to gain a lot more from them than the average person will. You know, just because we're learning within this truth of how to be more selfless instead of selfish. and that's not just dealing with things just based upon our own opinions, man. You know, if it's just like a general matter, it's okay to have your own opinion, but at the same time, you got to know that your opinion doesn't mean that whatever is going on makes it solid. You know, it doesn't make it solid. It doesn't make it completely factual. You can have some good points or whatever, but it doesn't take over the totality of the whole situation. Fact is fact, and opinion is opinion. You know, but within this truth, what I like to call what spiritual facts, because we know that the ways of the Most High are true, and we know that there are many mysteries that the world don't see, and that the world may not ever understand, simply because we have, you know, more spiritual insight than they have. So the things in which we see on a more spiritual level, you know, they may just consider opinion, or where you get that from, or you just guessing, or that's not in the Bible. That's why it's like certain in dealing with certain people of the world, you have to, you know, I mean, you could do it however you want to, but I'd rather not get in too deep with them. If they can't get the basic stuff, then I'd rather not even deal with them on nothing more deeper. Why would I deal with them on a deeper level when Jacob barely get the milk of the scriptures, you know? So you deal with people on a case-by-case basis, and you deal with them, you know, based accordingly of, you know, how you see their spirit, or what you see that they may accept, or however the spirit may guide you within that particular time. But the spirit may guide you just to, hey, go deep. You know what I'm saying? Mike, you know, however the spirit wills it to be. You know, but just in general, you know, people are just truly destroying themselves all off of opinion, because they're all about themselves, and they can't submit themselves to something greater than themselves, man. You know, that's why we're part of this truth. We submit ourselves unto Yahweh Shah. We submit ourselves one to another, you know, as being brothers, as being our brothers' keepers. constantly learning and growing, and for all the brothers out there, that's also seeking this learning just as we are, So, with that, I hope this segment was edifying, and I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, the B'wanas, to the apostles, and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to Lek out there doing this work of faith and live with love and true sincerity. Shalom.